Bamboo fire, bamboo, what kind of fire? Bamboo, hot fire, bamboo, too much fire. Bamboo fire, what kind of fire? Bamboo fire makes so. Bamboo fire, what kind of fire? Bamboo fire makes so. Bamboo fire, what kind of fire? Bamboo fire makes so. Bamboo fire, what kind of fire? Bamboo fire makes so. Bamboo fire, hot fire. Bamboo fire makes so. He makes so. Bamboo fire, hot fire. Bamboo fire makes so. He makes so. Bamboo fire, bamboo fire makes so. He makes so. Bamboo fire makes so. He makes so. 6 o'clock and the thing not ready. Bamboo fire makes so. 6 o'clock and the thing not ready. Bamboo fire makes so. 6 o'clock and the thing not ready. Bamboo fire makes so. 6 o'clock and the thing not ready. Bamboo fire makes so. I come home and the pot not done yet. Bamboo fire makes so. He makes so. I come home and the pot not done yet. Bamboo fire makes so. He makes so. I come home and the rice not fire. Bamboo fire makes so. He makes so. I come home and the rice not fire. Bamboo fire makes so. He makes so. Bamboo fire, hot fire. Bamboo fire 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 makes so. Give me the water, the out of the fire. Bamboo fire makes so. He makes so. Give me the water, the out of the fire. Bamboo fire makes so. He makes so. Give me the water, the out of the fire. Bamboo fire makes so. He makes so. Give me the water, the out of the fire. Bamboo fire makes so. He makes so. Bamboo fire makes so. Bamboo fire makes so. Bamboo fire makes so. Bamboo fire. So he makes so. Bamboo fire makes so. He makes so. Bamboo fire makes so. He makes so. 6 o'clock and the thing not ready. Bamboo fire makes so. 6 o'clock and the thing not ready. Bamboo fire makes so. 6 o'clock and the thing not ready. Bamboo fire makes so. 6 o'clock and the thing not ready. Bamboo fire makes so. I come home and the pot not done yet. Bamboo fire makes so. He makes so. I come home and the pot not done yet. Bamboo fire makes so. He makes so. I come home and the rice not fire. Bamboo fire makes so. He makes so. I come home and the rice not fire. Bamboo fire makes so. He makes so. Bamboo fire, hot fire. Bamboo fire makes so. Bamboo fire, hot fire. Bamboo fire makes so. Bamboo fire, hot fire. Bamboo fire makes so.
Mr. Watts, he's armed himself. Shots, watch it, tear gas. Live rounds, also I can see that.
Just the window! Everyone is a boxer, man. I like to put in a boxer, man, to do that. But since my cousin there, no, you come on the East Coast.
You listen to me.
Right? No, you come on the East Coast.
You listen to me.
You gotta listen to me too, man.
I am listening to you.
Right? Now, I see you on the East Coast. The day when they get a protest of them, the next day, that's when you see one bigger heads come up to talk to my family. Right? And that's bad. If you didn't do a protest, you want to see nobody for justice. I'm not holding back nothing. I'm not holding back nothing. I just need justice for my family. I get visitors all of a sudden. All of a sudden, you all have visitors. This is Joker. Who is that Joker? That piece of plum. They know who they never know.
Hello, this is attorney Shellen Washington, owner and founder of the Washington Law Firm located at 455 Utica Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. We're specialized in medical malpractice, personal injuries, matrimonial law, and landlord and tenant. If you're in need of legal representation, please give us a call today. The number to call is 718-877-3100. Consultation is free at no cost to you, so call us today to see if we can be of any assistance to your legal needs. Again, the phone number to call us is 718-877-3100.
If you are looking to have your statutory declaration, affidavit of income, identity, damage or lost passport, lost license, tenancy agreement, agreement of settlement, power of attorney, last will and testament, and certification of documents, then you need to visit the Alistair Collins firm, located at the Killian Mall, 162 Lamaha Street in Georgetown, between Camp and Waterloo Street. Alistair Collins is a commissioner of oaths and a justice of the peace. Make certain you visit him or call for more information at 649-6410 or 685-6448 or 503-1451. And there's adequate parking available. Go down to the Alistair Collins firm and have all of your legal issues settled and brought to the fore. Alistair Collins firm. Contact them at Alistair Collins firm.
All right, welcome to Straight Up. It's what is it? It's 7 minutes after 9 o'clock on this Friday evening. It's the 19th day of August. All right, so we will just be with you guys for about a half hour. Didn't want to disappoint you folks. As you can tell from my voice, what's happening. So again, don't want to spend much time in telling you what's happening through my voice, but there has been better days. But thank God for life. We are here. What is it that we can talk for just about half hour? We understand what's happening in the corruption, the perception of widespread corruption in the Guyana police force. Then let's get back now to we don't want to have any issue override each other. So we have to keep the fire burning, so to speak. And you know, when we speak like that, the PPP amphibians, they tend to edit what they have to edit to make themselves look as though we are preaching, you know what they love to say that we're preaching. But look at this sugar, cost of living, still high, very, very high in Guyana, and it's going further up. And it's obvious that the PPP regime, they just don't give a damn about you. Barrett Jackdale held a press conference today, and nothing about your future, nothing about what the PPP can offer you guys. It's just a bunch of complaining. Suddenly, they are now talking about having an interest in biometrics. But for 23 years, they were accustomed to just doing this to the entire Guyanese population. You stick your finger in the ink and that's it, a very old-fashioned way. And they just didn't give a damn about anything else. But suddenly they're so concerned. And Barrett is the last person, Barrett Jackdale is the last person to talk about biometrics or to talk about corrupt elections and fraud. He's just the last person to talk about that. So I'm not sure who that is penetrating, but people wouldn't buy into that. So let's get back to this here now. When was the last time you guys heard anything about this so-called um, commission of inquiry into the elections? Isn't it suspicious that it's over a month now that we heard that Irfan Ali made that announcement, and thus far, nothing else? Here's the headline: Retired TNT judge to head elections probe. That's it. It's the end of it. It just disappeared. Disappeared, just like this guy has disappeared. And we have been asking questions, and so far, nobody has been answering these questions. Why is it that Soku is so quiet on the issue of investigating Barrett Jagdeo concerning the serious allegations, those serious allegations that were leveled against him, taking bribe and other forms of corruption? That is what people want to hear. They want to ensure that the allegations that were leveled against Jagdeo by Sue is properly investigated. And Jagdeo cannot continue to be as presumptuous as he is, oftentimes he is, for no apparent reason, continue to sit there as quote unquote the VP and not facilitating an investigation, independent investigation concerning the allegations of corruption and bribery and all manner of things. And that's not going to just disappear like that, Jack Deere. So we here at 105, 107.1 FM, sorry about that, want to ensure that we remind you, Jack Deere, and your handlers that the Sioux Gate will not disappear. We've got to get to the bottom of it. And while you guys continue to send the head of Soku away all the time for all these different trainings, he just came back from Moro or wherever it is that he went. All these trainings for what? Only God knows. It appears, though, that the PPP and Jack Deere, they are comfortable sending the head of Soku out of the jurisdiction. That to me comes in a form of bribery, where they probably sat with him and say, hey, guess what? We're going to send you on these trainings. We're going to send you on overseas trainings and so forth. He gets to travel. He gets to enjoy himself. But what exactly is he being trained for? He's a public servant, and the people should know. Where is he going? What training is he on? And why those trainings are necessary for him. So those are things, those are questions that we want answered. Raul is saying here, Sue belongs to an international criminal organization. That's why international attention was brought to his corruption scheme with Jack Deere. This is an opinion by Raul. A lot of folks seem to believe that there is this bigger network, mafia style of corrupt individuals. But Sue is not admitting that there's any corruption coming from his part, from his side. He is saying that in order to get by with business, they have to pay Jack Deere. Sue said that. That is what Sue is saying. So why can't we have an investigation? Why can't we move this investigation forward? The other thing is, concerning the investigation, we know that Irfan Ali has said over a month now that he wants an investigation into the Sioux affairs. Jack Deere has said that he also wants an investigation. Why is it that Jack Deere has not stepped down, step aside, so that we can have an investigation, an independent investigation to find out the credibility of the allegations, whether those allegations are credible or not? That is what we want to hear, but we have not been hearing that. They're basically dilly-dallying, running around the issue, and every single day there's some other controversy, and they're hoping that we are going to forget about controversy A and go to controversy B, just as in the case of allegations of corruption by this superintendent of police, Caesar. They are all hoping that this is going to disappear by next week, and they're probably saying Guyanese are going to calm down and they're going to forget about it. This is not going to be forgotten, Caesar. So I hope you and your handlers would know that people are not going to forget about this. No matter what they do, no matter what statements they issue, and no matter what sort of, running around playing Santa Claus or whatever, it is not going to go away. That if these folks are serious about an investigation, what is preventing Azardine to grab his man? And what I mean by his man, his security guy, Mark Richmond, and say, hey, we don't like how this thing is looking. Let us provide the police with whatever information they're looking for. Let us cooperate with the police. Let us say to the public, this is what we are doing. Tomorrow or Monday, they are going to present themselves to CID headquarters and not to be interviewed by Caesar, because Caesar should be out of the picture. They should be new guys who are not set to be connected or to be on anybody's payroll, if you know what I mean, right? To conduct an independent investigation. That is what we want to hear. So, Azardine Mohammed, if you're watching, we don't want to hear about who other businessman is setting who up. We don't want to hear that because we don't believe that. If you guys have your personal war, your personal turf war, whatever it is, go right ahead and have that. But don't try to make us appear as though we're Mickey Mouse and we have to buy the nonsense that you have put out there that somebody said. We're not. We're looking at what the cop has said. And that is of interest to us. We don't give a damn who you fight with, who is after you, and who is jealous of you. We're not bothered. We're not concerned about that. And who wrote to the U.S. Embassy about you and your business? Who cares? Who cares about that? Who? And then the individual that you're actually talking about, you think he really has the power to pen a letter to the U.S. Embassy to talk about you or anybody else? Come on. We don't care about that. We want to ensure that the family members of Fagundes, the family members get justice. That is what it's about, Azardine Mohammed. This is not about you. Nobody popped up overnight and decided to make you a victim or to target you and anything. And nobody has personal gripes with you. So you have to understand what this is about. This is about justice. The family members of Fagundes, they're seeking justice. That's what people want. Not for you to garner up sympathy and to try to portray this image as though you're an angel. We're not concerned about that. Here it is. Now let me say this for you so that you can understand. Or maybe if you can't understand, somebody around you should break it down. And please don't ask a critic to break it down for you, because that's another story. Can't break it down. So let me say this to you. There is an allegation by this detective sergeant, Dion Bascom, that because of corruption at CID headquarters about this particular case, and your name has been mentioning for a while now, you would want to do the right thing, which is to clear your name. Right, Azardine? To clear your name from this murder case. Take your security guy in, Mark Richmond, again, and this is free advice to you. I'm not going to send you an invoice, but this is free advice for you. Walk in with your lawyer. Don't go with that guy, Punai. Don't go with Punai. Walk in with another lawyer. Not James Bond, please. Yeah, but walk in with another lawyer. But if you want to walk with James Bond, you can walk with James Bond too. Good evening to you, Mr. Bond. And say to the police that, look, we are here to subject ourselves for any form of investigations and questioning, that we have nothing to hide. That's all. And see where it goes from there. But when you dilly-dally and run and try to tell us some other businessman did this and who did that and who that, we are not concerned about that. Azardine, we are not concerned about that. We understand that you have Racing Sunday or whatever it is that you guys have. Take some time out from racing. Do some introspection, some reflection, and so forth, and try to get this murder case over. Because the image is not good. It's not a good image for you. It's not a good image for your company. It's not. And this is going to take a while based on how you are treating this investigation. It's going to take a while for your company's image to repair or your image to be repaired if you don't rush as quickly as possible to submit yourself for questioning at CID headquarters. This has nothing to do with money and you can buy your way out of things. It's not going to work. It's just not going to work, Azerty. And I'm giving you this free advice. You're not going to get such free advice from some of the people who probably thinks that you're a good man and you can't keep a good man down. I'm not going to play those sort of foolish, emotional kind of games. I'm getting straight to the point, and it's up to you. So call your friend Hicken and tell him that you want to submit yourself for an investigation, and you'll send your security guy in, Mark Richmond, as well. Call your friend Irfan Ali and tell him straight up. Tell him this is what you want as well. Subject yourself for an investigation. Don't let these guys kind of like fool you to tell you that they're going to take care of things, mind you, assuming that that's what they're telling you. I'm not saying that that's what they have told you. And, because the family members of Fagundes want justice. And they seem to believe that you can provide them with some sort of information that can lead to justice for their loved ones. And that's enough of that. Let's move away to ganja now. The ganja guys want a little weed to be freed up. Free the weed and stop jailing individuals for small amounts of marijuana. That is what they're asking for. The regime has promised a lot of things, that they're going to pass a legislation to decriminalize small amount of marijuana. We haven't been hearing that. We don't know what is happening. And like typical PPP fashion, they just don't care. And it's just what is called elections gimmick. Sorry about that. It's called elections gimmick. That is what it's called, elections gimmick. The same thing they did with free education. And now let me break down this free education thing for you guys. And mind you, I just have maybe about 5-10 minutes more. Force myself to be on with you guys this evening under the circumstances. So free education at the university level were there prior to 1992. When the PPP got into office in 1992, they discontinued that. They didn't give a damn about free education at the university level. And so for 20-something years, people just had to go to UG and pay their bills, pay their fees. Something that is totally contradictory to the Constitution of Guyana, because the Constitution of Guyana speaks of free education at all the way up to the university level. And were I a lawyer, I keep saying this thing, right? Because I'm not a lawyer. I'm not going to pretend that I'm a lawyer. But even though I studied law for 5 years at Camp Street Law School, in any other part of the world, this is what you call a class action lawsuit. Because if you have your constitution that says you are entitled to free education from nursery all the way to university, and for 20-something years, a corrupt regime, an undemocratic regime, decided to snatch that away from you. Just give me a second, please.
So 6 o'clock and the thing not ready. I'm on fire, make so. 6 o'clock and the thing not ready. I'm on fire, make so. 6 o'clock and the thing not ready. I'm on fire, make so. 6 o'clock and the thing not ready. I'm on fire, make so. I come home and the pot not done yet. I'm on fire, make so.
All right. Well, you see what I'm battling with, a fresh cold. So for 23 years, they have charged folks to attend the University of Guyana, a violation of the country's constitution. Then the coalition got into office. And remember, the coalition got into office from 2015. Were I one of the advisors for President Granger and all the others who were there, those big and high and mighty ministers and so forth. Remind you, even under the coalition, they wanted nothing to do with a little kunumunu like me, you know, take people's advice, was to ensure that we correct the wrong, many wrongs, correct it. And one of them was the university fees, to stop it completely and hand that back to the people who want to attend the University of Guyana and to respect our constitution. That wasn't done. I think they had a bunch of different opinions about it. The other thing we're hearing now, well, the coalition is running around now talking about free education at the university level, which is good. And we oftentimes say this, it could have been, for me, I think it was just as easy as writing and signing off something so that it can be done during the coalition time. But it appears that the PBP used that as an election propaganda, promising the people, but they just don't. They just don't. They just don't. They just don't give a damn. That's why they're ignoring that issue. On the issue of the decriminalization of small amounts of marijuana, for years, those are things some of us were advocating for over 20 years. Get it done. Get it done. The coalition had an opportunity to get that done as well. Because when you walk through the University of Cam Street, which is way higher than the University of Iflat, mind you, you see a lot of young people, lots of young people, first-time offenders. They're in there all because of some small amount of marijuana. And all those things, if we are concerned about our young people and our young people's future, we've got to develop policies and proper plans to ensure that we protect them. Young people will make mistakes, and I've seen a lot of them right there in Camp Street, you know, on frivolous, minor charges and all these manner of things that they should not have been there. And marijuana is definitely one of those. But we didn't see that happen under the coalition. Unfortunately, those are two things we didn't see happen under the coalition. But these vagabonds in the PPP, they campaign on free education at the university level. They're dilly-dallying about that. They're not concerned about that, but they're concerned about giving their friends and cronies billions of dollars, your money, taxpayers' money. Why you think, take a look at who they give the contract for the fire station straight up Homestretch Avenue. It's Mohammed's. Oh yeah, they feel they're contractors now. They could do a job. They could, you know, when you have these sort of things happening and they're giving out, the regime giving out friends, big contracts to friends and cronies and all these, it happens. You can't have a country develop like that. It cannot develop. And it's not going to develop at all. It's just not going to. So that's why I'm saying that lots of problems in Guyana, and we've really got to pray for our country. Again, I just thought I'd hop on to let you guys know that I'm with you. I didn't want to make it appear that I ignored and abandoned you guys for this Friday night show, even though I'm under the weather. I've got to go now. God bless you, but keep on praying for that country. And don't let these bullies in the private sector, so-called businessmen and so forth, because of their monies, feel that they can buy police force, buy judges, buy magistrates. Don't let them bully you guys at all. Stand strong. You guys, thus far, have been standing real strong. And when we look at each other, here is where we can use things like, hey, Mark, or hey, David Hines, or hey, Burke, or hey, Duncan, or Kadaki, look at us and tell us. And we will look at you guys and say that too. Can't keep a good man down. Don't waste that phrase. Don't waste it on anything that is totally opportunistic in nature. All right, good. I'm being mischievous, right? I love you guys. God bless you. And I'll see you guys hopefully soon, sometime very, very soon. I want you to take a look at the vehicles that were allegedly donated to Irfan Ali by Azardine Mohammed and his company. Azardine Mohammed. Allegations that he gifted Irfan Ali a couple vehicles, supposedly bulletproof vehicles. This explains a lot of things, right? Okay. Love you guys.
Is not using an official car at the moment. The presidential number plate crest has been put on the vehicle that he used before. And so Dr. Ali into this role as president as the days go ahead. So that's Dr. Ali leaving the Artichon Conference Center in the vehicle that he's been driving around with for the longest while. A presidential vehicle did come here, but Dr. Ali is not using that vehicle. He is moving off with the vehicle that he has been in. Didn't even have time to get a proper sheen on that vehicle, just the presidential insignia on that vehicle, and Dr. Ali is off, driving off for the first time as the president of Guyana. The security detail that turned up with the presidential car organized by the protocol office of the Ministry of the Presidency has been left in the parking lot. The president has drove. You can see outside there's a group of supporters who are waiting there. They're waving the PPP flag as Dr. Ali makes his way out of the Artichon Conference Center. So that's how Dr. Ali has left the compound. And as we've mentioned, he chose not to use the official car that was sent for him. That was the vehicle that was sent for him. The number plate was taken off of that. I don't know what they call it actually, if it's a number plate or what. But the thing that is in front of the vehicle, the presidential insignia, that was taken off and put on the personal vehicle that Dr. Ali was using. And you can see the presidential guard service there standing around with that car. We suppose it will head off very shortly as others continue to leave the venue. The First Lady Arya Ali is going to go get into her vehicle at this point in time. You can see her getting into her vehicle there. It looks brand new. There's, from what we can see, the plastic is still on the seat. First Lady Arya Ali is heading off with her mother and her son Zaid. Earlier she spoke with us and she said that she was sure Irfan Ali was going to work very hard. So joining her at the back is her mother and her mother-in-law, the mother of
Pressure boss pipe. Pressure boss pipe, boy.
Making the short video for send to you and the viewers and listeners. I'll know we punishing in Guyana. Punishing. Rice gone up, sugar gone up, flour gone up, cost of living just gone up, gas gone up from 3,400 to 3,800. Real hungry days under this installed PPP government. Real hungry days we gone back to. Guyanese? Oh! Real hungry days. Real hungry days.
So, this is attorney Shellen Washington, owner and founder of the Washington law firm located at 455 Utica Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. We're specialized in medical malpractice, personal injuries, matrimonial law, and landlord and tenant. If you're in need of legal representation, please give us a call today. The number to call is 718-877-3100. Consultation is free at no cost to you. So call us today to see if we can be of any assistance to your legal needs. Again, the phone number to call us is 718-877-3100.
If you are looking to have your statutory declaration, affidavit of income, identity, damage or lost passport, lost license, tenancy agreement, agreement of settlement, power of attorney, last will and testament, and certification of documents, then you need to visit the Alistair Collins firm, located at the Killian Mall, 162 Lamaha Street in Georgetown, between Camp and Waterloo Street. Alistair Collins is a commissioner of oaths and a justice of the peace. Make certain you visit him or call for more information at 649-6410 or 685-6448 or 503-1451. And there's adequate parking available. Go down to the Alistair Collins firm and have all of your legal issues settled and brought to the fore. Alistair Collins firm. Contact them at Alistair Collins firm,